During his talk, how to keep your kid from making stupid social media mistakes in 3 easy steps, Mr. Phillip Zannini.
Good evening. Yeah, you heard I have 5 kids. That's what gives me authority to speak on this. You can see them there. My beautiful bride of 20 years this week and my 5 children. We got one for the thumb. 4 girls, 17, 14, 9, and 6, and a little boy, 3. So I know what it's like to get kids into social media, and the first thing you need to do is you need to lay a foundation. And I know there are a few guys out there looking at this going, "Hey Vern, that don't look like no cinder block I ever seen." That's because this is makeup, and makeup is a little bit different type of foundation, and one of its benefits is that it smooths things over as well. I know this because I have 4 girls. It's important when you're working with your children to understand that too. You need to be able to smooth things out because they're little people, a little bit like you in most cases. And it helps to build trust. You allow them to have a space where they can love, and you build trust with your children. And as parents, we have the benefit in that because kids who are up to about 12 have a tendency to naturally trust authority figures. And as long as you don't pick them up by the ankles and hang them out over a balcony, you should be okay. You can pick them up by the ankles, that's okay. Just don't hang them over the balcony. Anyway, totally off my thought, I'm sorry. You build trust with the kids, and once you get trust with them, then we can start to work on the basics of getting them into social media. And one of the first basics I established with my children, and maybe this will work different with yours, is that I let them know that Dad's in charge, because I'm a little bit of a geek, so they're willing to buy into that, and they trust me. And I tell them, all your base belong to us. And that means that their computers are mine. I set admin accounts on all their computers, and I have all their passwords as well. And you may be wondering, well, what about a kid's privacy? You gotta give them space, right? Or what if they don't like it? Well, I have an answer for what if they don't like it. Something like this. Pray I don't alter the deal any further. In order to get into the 3 steps, we try to create an environment for them that allows for prevention, protection, and proaction, which isn't really a word. Prevention keeps the things from coming into them. Protection keeps them in an environment where it's safe to do things, and proaction is where we jump in. Kind of like Club Penguin. This is the first part of prevention. It's social networks for penguins. No, it's not. It's for little kids, and they get to go on and create their first account and have a good time and play, and they get a little bit of an exposure to other people. In Webkins, which is social media for the Narnia crowd, they get to create accounts, and they actually get to find out that other people have usernames and see those people and play games with them. So they've kind of next stepped a little bit more, and they get to see which people they like to play with. We also set up email for them, but we have specific email clients that only allow email to come in from people that we trust, so their names are in the address book. So it keeps them from getting email from creepy people, as long as you don't include their grandparents. The next step is protection. This is BarbieGirls.com, and it is the next step. You go on, you create an account, you sell things in a virtual world, nice dresses, right? And you get to talk to people, but you can't give out information like your name or your address or things like that. And the next step from that is a full-on, closed-in social media network. So this one is one that's done on Ning, if you've ever heard of Ning. And it allows students to get on in a very small crowd, and they get to be free. There's an obscenity filter on, and it's moderated. So the kids can make mistakes. The benefit is they don't make mistakes in front of all your friends and relatives, so you don't get embarrassed. And you get to train them in the process, because the next step from them from here is, of course, the big wide world, where we get into proaction, the bigger social networks. We jump in together with them, and we chose Twitter to start Bailey on because it's a great network because it's binary. Either you have permission to talk to them or you don't. And Dad gets to look in. That's the only moderation that's there. Facebook is, again, the next step from that. And this is the progression we went through, by the way, with our kids. And they get to choose whether or not it's friends only, friends and friends networks, all the way out to the public. So by going through this whole process, we kind of get them in. We start small and step by step build with them. We help them to understand, using these networks, which type of interactions are acceptable with others, that others will find pleasing, and hopefully ones that will be good and that they won't embarrass themselves in the process, which leads them to the most wild west of all the social networks, which is YouTube, where you can put up all kinds of silly videos and have people comment on them, and hopefully if you do this right, you won't see your kid's video in their dorm room of them taking hits off a beer bong. You know what I'm saying? Special thanks to my 3 beautiful ladies, my daughter Hallie, 17, my daughter Bailey, 14, and of course my beautiful bride of 20 years who does so much work to make it all happen. I am PhillyMac, thank you.